In governance, we have good governance because there is bad governance. So governance should be good. What is bad governance? Well, a corrupt system of governance is bad, and we are against that. How can we avoid urban decay? How can we avoid the city of Baguio going down to the dogs, to the level of the dogs, if we do not have good governance rather?
Okay, Sir Popo, hindi ko po kasi masyadong na-get yung urban decay. Tsaka, pwede po bang pa-explain kung ano yun? At tsaka paano po ako maaapektuhan nito?
I see. Yeah, that's right. You know, the city of Baguio is a highly urbanized city. And urban decay is a challenge to all urbanized communities. Talk about New York, di ba? Seoul, Tokyo, Manila. Ayan, let's go home. Come back home to the Philippines.
Ano ba kasing nangyayari kapag sinabi nating may urban decay?
Well, it's more because of the influx of people to the city. It's
So,
more of people overcrowding and yung kulang ang planning, or maybe sabihin mo lang, maski may plan, if it is not effectively implemented.
Planning po ng alin?
Yes, we call it the planning of the city, township, yan, whereby we plan for the balance of the environment or the ecology. Sabihin natin, may tao, may housing, food production, but we need also to have balance with environment. Kaya nga, we have issues on pollution, clean air, clean water supply, waste disposal. Kailangan ito naaayos. So in a urbanized city of Baguio, if we are not able to come out with a doable plan, a plan wherein every aspect of life, of daily life in the city is considered, and whatever regulations or laws that we have, this should be effectively implemented. Now, if not implemented, or yes, the effect is that we will have problems on, ito na nga, water shortage, water supply shortage, pollution in our rivers, traffic, okay? We can even see, hindi lang physical eh. Because of this physical thing, it will affect already our society, socio-economic, political situation in the city. So one effect of urban decay, the so-called urban decay, we will be seeing this the presence of out of school youth, dysfunctional families, problems on peace and order, drug addiction, pagnanakaw, these kinds of things.
Sir, nabanggit niyo po yung sa water shortage. Ngayon dito sa Baguio, alam naman natin tuwing summer talaga nagkakaproblema sa tubig. And as a city councilor and now running for Congress, what do you think po is the solution that the city can come up, or what are the things we need to do para ma-aid natin itong water shortage sa Baguio City?
Wow, that's a very good question. We go back to LPG, water source shortage. For one thing, we need to study the situation within the boundaries of Baguio City. Kasi kung water supply, we need to know how are we managing our watersheds. Do we have enough area for watershed? Our forest lands. Kung kulang, anong dapat natin gawin? We cannot expand the land area of the city anymore. And so, as I mentioned earlier, one strategy or one possible way of addressing the water shortage of Baguio is to collaborate with our neighboring municipalities within the so-called BLIST area. Ano yung BLIST? BLIST is an acronym for Baguio, La Trinidad, Itogon, Sablan, Tuba, and Tublay. Dalawang T. ito, we can help each other with these municipalities because even at their end, they also have problems. We have the same problems. And talking about water shortage of water supply,
Yes
we
po.
can help each other. We can pool our resources in first preserving our existing forest lands, our existing watersheds, and even developing the watershed and the system of managing. Para po all of us will mutually benefit by having a sustainable water source and supply dito sa Baguio.
Okay.
Isa lang yun yung list.
Opo.
Medyo hindi ko po kasi napagko-connect. So, nabanggit nyo po kanina na kasama rin sa urban decay ang traffic. Paano po nagko-connect yung urban decay sa traffic?
Well, for one thing, pollution. Kung hindi maayos ang daloy ng traffic, nandyan lang siya, it accumulates pollution. Secondly, traffic, kung hindi dumadaloy ang traffic, people, like the students themselves, as I said earlier, it's not just physical. It also affects the socio-economic situation of the city. Kung yung mga estudyante, traffic, papasok ng maaga, because of traffic, pagagalitan siya ni teacher kasi late paragi, di ba?
Opo.
And baka it can even lead to stress, mental disorders ng mga bata. You see, you cannot really contain these matters because of these problems in the city. Kaya nga even in the provision of services like water supply. Ngayon, many of us rely on supply ng tubig. Water delivery.
Opo.
Because the water district system cannot reach their place. Including, we have to consider our topography and of course the scarcity. So, here, kung traffic pa naman, di lalo na namang hindi abot yung tubig on time. I mean, simple things, but if you quantify the problem or the effects of traffic, it can go by the billions. And economically, kaya nga socio-economic yan. Apektado po ang syudad natin, and this can lead still directly, sometimes indirectly, to what we call urban decay.
Sir, paano naman po yung urban decay in relation to city charter?
City charter. Well, if we look deeper or closer into the city charter, first of all, the city charter states the goals or objectives or vision for the city of Baguio. Yun eh. So, with that vision, how can we reach the vision? The city charter provides how can we reach that vision of having an inclusive, creative, livable city. Now, kaya doon sa city charter, it starts with the territory. It should provide the boundaries of the city. And also, the updated or the revised city charter, I would believe, should also include the boundaries of each barangay, because the barangay is the smallest government unit.
Sir, wala po bang boundaries sa ngayon?
Meron na, pero hindi pa na-formalize or na-final. Meaning to say, there's even this move of, how do you call this? It's not consolidation. Amalgamation of our barangays. Meaning to say, right now we have 128 operating barangays, but by law it is 129, and there's a move to study the development, or rather some in the layman's term they say merging of these barangays to reduce the 128 barangays to something like 40, 45, or 50, depending on the studies, the feasibility studies on how to have a better way of governance in the city of Baguio.
Sir, pero I cannot still understand what city charter is.
Okay.
Can you please
Yes.
enlighten us about the city charter? And you've also mentioned it needs to be revised. What needs to be revised in our city charter, sir?
Yeah. Okay. 2 questions. What really is the... Well, let me continue. The city charter, aside from providing for the goals, the vision for the city, it provides the territory, the identification, the description of the territory of Baguio City. Then it would also provide for how should the government be. So it says that there shall be a mayor, city mayor. There shall be a vice mayor. Okay? There shall be the original city charter of 1909 of Baguio City says that there shall be 3 city councilors. Pero it has evolved already. So now we have actually 12 elected city councilors and 3 sectoral representatives into the city council, that for the youth, that for the barangays, and that for the indigenous people. So yung revision, the second question is that we need to revise to attune ourselves to the present times. Kasi nga, katulad noon, 1909, 3 councilors, sabi niya. So ngayon, we have 15. But before I talk further about the revision, let me finish about what is the city charter. First, the goals. Secondly, the territory. Thirdly, it describes the government and the functions of every officer in government. Like the city assessor, anong function niya? It says that there shall be a city treasurer. What is the function? It should say also that there is a city engineer. What is the function of the city engineer? Now, further, the city charter should also describe how to manage the territory. So we now go first to the land. The original city charter of 1909 states there that the disposition of public lands, okay, to the people, to the public, is through sale. So ibig sabihin, the city charter says that Baguio City is owned by the city government, and if you are Juan de la Cruz and you want to have your lot be titled under your name, the city government will sell it to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We have laws. We have the Public Land Act, Land Registration Law, and procedures, so that Juan de la Cruz will finally get hold of his title over his land, residential land. And that is one example. Of course, we should put ourselves, we should try to think, what was the situation way back in 1909? Baguio was an open city. I mean, there were barely how many people? Mas marami pang baka nga dito daw kaysa yung tao eh. And their goal then, in 1909, their goal was to have 25,000 people to inhabit Baguio. So you could imagine that means there were less than 25,000. Maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people.
Gets ko na yung urban decay.
So,
Because from 25,000, now we are
precisely.
almost 400,000.
Yes, according to the statistics.
And
The carrying capacity.
carrying, gets, I see.
Galing nyo. Carrying capacity.
Yes.
So, we cannot expand the area, but there are more people. Out of the original 25,000 goal in 1909, right now, there are, as you have said, more or less 400 people during the night.
400,000, yes.
400,000 people during the night.
Daytime.
During the day, it doubles
Plus tourists.
because of the tourists and the people who come to Baguio for school, for business.
I see.
Ganon.